Jay-Z's lawyers slid into court to put reasonable doubt into Dame Dash's $1 million auction to sell his third of Rocafella records. What up, world? Your boy Charles Brown back again talking facts. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell. And I really do appreciate the cash apps y'all sending me. Keep sending them. Support the channel. CLBMG. Listen, I don't know what it is with this third of Roc-A-Fella records that Dame Dash has been trying to sell for years, right? But it's coming to a head, and I guess it's taking so long that Jay-Z's about to get that whole third of the Rocafella records back. It looks like Jay-Z's lawyers went to court. They signed, they filed some paperwork letting people know that Jay-Z's about to reclaim that third of the Reasonable Doubt album that is being sold by Dame Dash. So basically, Jay, Biggs, and Dame Dash all have a third of what is and what was Rocafella Records, right? Now, Jay and Dame have been at odds since the fall of Rocafella Records. They've been back and forth. They've been up and down. It's always been some kind of issue here and there. Even when they took that picture, they got up and they laughed, apparently, and took a picture. And even that was a good, 7 years ago. It was a while ago. I don't remember how many years ago, but they had got up and they shook hands and they became cordial, and then they went back to business as usual of them not being cool. Now, I have my own personal issues with Dame Dash. I just still haven't forgotten his issues on the Breakfast Club when he said something that I'm not gonna say I'll never forgive, but I'll never forget, where he was like, you can't be a boss and be a regular employee of a job. So basically, he was basically saying, if you work a job, then you have a mentality of a worker, and that's all you'll ever be. Basically saying you were beneath a person such as himself, a boss, in for lack of a better words. And bosses don't do this, bosses don't do that. And they were asking him about, he was basically saying if you had a job, you was almost like a sucker, right? And they were like, what about firefighters and nurses and police, people we need to, do the government workers, things like that. And he was like, listen, if you call somebody else a boss and you're not the boss, then really, basically, you're not really nothing to me at that point. And I really had an issue with that. I didn't like that comment. I felt like, okay, so we're going to see what a boss does. And now I'm seeing a lot of moves that Dame Dash does in this boss lane, and they're always trying to sell something of somebody else's work or somebody else's, what somebody else has gave him or done for him. I just feel that I don't like when you're positioning yourself to be better than other people, right? And they were like, Dame, so how does someone become a boss? He's like, well, I don't, just go out and get money. Like, that's not how this works. It ain't that simple to just go out and get money. As a person, as myself, that creates jobs for himself and other people, and I have my own employment, I don't take that lightly. I don't disrespect people by saying that if you're not a boss, no, I respect everyone. You're all your partners at that point. You're not a boss. You're not going to be bossing people around with that sense of that mind frame of, oh yeah, I'm the boss, you're the worker. No, you got to respect everybody. I don't like that, right? And that's just my own personal issues with it, because I know it's not easy to be a quote unquote boss. So I don't throw that word around lightly. A lot of people think they want to be bosses that have no idea what it takes. A lot of people will fold up under the pressure of being a boss, right? It's no joke. So I don't throw that around lightly. And I felt like Dame throws that around a little too lightly for me to see the actual results of that. And the results of it is chasing down Lee Daniels for $2 million that he allegedly gave him, and he's running them down, trying to get it back years after it was, like 10 years later. And it's like, bro, that's some stuff. Bosses not going to run in public and scream on a man for their money. You're going to do that behind closed doors. I didn't think that was a very boss move, just to be honest with you. So I just been watching these moves, and I saw this situation with this Rocafella thing, which has been going on for a while. He tried to sell it last year and they blocked him. I think he tried to sell it before that. Just a lot of blocking of this situation. And now, long story short, is we went in a big circle to get that Jay-Z is finally going to get that music back. The only good asset on Roc, according to this article that I'm reading that the only big asset on Rocafella Records is Reasonable Doubt at this point. I don't know why. It's a lot of stuff on Rocafella Records that can be valuable. I would assume, like, you know what I'm saying? They got quite a few albums over there, but I don't know if they're all already liquidated or whatever. And maybe this is the last piece of material that Jay-Z actually wants. But apparently in 35 years, that record's going to revert back to Jay-Z. So at that point, Jay-Z will re-own all of his masters and all of the stuff from Rocafella Records that he wanted to get. Reasonable Doubt was the last thing I believe that Jay was looking for. So in 35 years, that's going to revert back to Jay automatically. So that will be 2031. So at that point, no one will own it. So Dame trying to sell it right now is kind of wild because whoever buys it, they're not going to have it more than 6 years, right? That thing is going to revert. That thing came out in, I believe, 96. So Reasonable Doubt came out in 96. So in 35 years, Jay's going to get that money back, so that album back. So the reason his lawyers went to court was to force the auction to inform all of the people buying or trying to buy this $1 million. It may go for $1 million, $1.5 million, $1.2 million, or whatever it goes for, to force them to inform those people that no matter what you pay for Dame Dash's third of Rocafella Records or Reasonable Doubt, whatever they're selling, you're not going to have that more than 7 years because it's going to revert back to Jay anyway. So the Reasonable Doubt record will not be that person's for long. Now, I'm thinking if I'm going to buy that for $1 million, I need that to be mine. I think that sale is cooked. I'm just going to be honest. And people may say, oh, Jay did him dirty. Why is he doing him dirty? This is his album, right? They made the money. He going to make the money. Whatever you made is gone. If you're trying to sell it, then at this point, it ain't making no money for nobody. If you're trying to sell it for just $1 million at that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're trying to sell it for $1 million. I don't think that thing ain't doing nothing for nobody at this point. You know what I mean? I think Jay just wanted off some pride. He want his masters. He want to die knowing I got every single thing that I work for. You know what I mean? So I believe that this one little album means so much to Jay that he's putting in paperwork to get it back to him. If he didn't care about the album, he wouldn't even go to have the lawyers go and make an announcement. He wouldn't even went in the court to do nothing with this. I believe that it's not just to stop Dame from selling it. I think he just wants, he said for years that he would have gave them the entire Rocafella Records if he could just have the masters back of Reasonable Doubt, and they told him no. And that's why he went so hard to destroy or take everything else that he took back from, but he couldn't take this because it was in writing, it's in stone from day one. We got a third. Now, my problem is Dame keep trying to sell this third. Like, the price keep going down, it goes down and down. I'm like, bro, like, do some of them boss moves, bro. I'm just being honest. I ain't trying to be disrespectful, but it seems like, bro, you're going out of your way to sell something that never was really yours to sell. This is like a stock that you just hold on to. You don't sell it. You don't try to finagle it and finesse it. You've been trying to do it with the NFTs and all, just trying to sell it a million different ways. It don't seem very bossly, bro. Create something new, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm dead ass. Like, HOV was like, make another HOV. We could have been made another HOV. This thing been over probably, I don't even know how many years at this point, 15 years? Minimum that the Roc been gone. Like, I don't understand why we're still trying to dip and dive and sell stuff from Rocafella, bro. Like, some stuff you just tuck. It's a memory. This is what I got. This is for my kids. I'm going to tuck this. Probably if he wasn't trying to sell it, Jay wouldn't even be trying to take it, just be honest with you. I'm just going to be honest. He's going to sell it to any goofball down the street that's got $1 million, he's going to give it to him. Jay probably like, nah, we're not doing that. I'm just going to be, I'm going to be honest. I feel like if Dame was leaving this for his kids, then Jay would be like, it's fine. Because Jay don't need the money. He'd probably be like, it's fine. But the fact you're trying to sell it, you're doing all these auctions and NFTs and that, he's like, you know what, give my thing back. I'm just going to be honest with you. So I feel like at the end of the day, the person who holds these copyrights won't have it for long. So I don't think anyone's going to buy it because Jay not going to sell it to you for $1 million. What's crazy is that it's been 35 years. 2031, now both of these dudes could be dead and gone by 2031. All of us could be, right? But end of the day, that's not that far. So if you're going to buy that, I don't know how much money you're going to get out of Reasonable Doubt. And you only own a third. So that means they got to make decisions. You got to make decisions and they got to approve them. So I don't know what the point, I don't even know what the point of buying it is, just to say you have it. right? I don't understand why a person would even buy this in the first place, because Jay not gonna let you do nothing. He's not gonna license nothing, right? I can't see nothing happening, but maybe a movie comes along and they want to license a song and he agrees with it or what have you, and Biggs agrees, then you can say, all right, boom, and then you're gonna get some money. But other than that, I don't think Reasonable Doubt is generating this massive amount of money every year anyway. I'm sure it's making decent money for me and you, but for them, it's probably nothing, right? So I feel like what we're seeing is the chickens coming home to roost low key with Dame. I think Dame has made many mistakes with this, not only just Roc-A-Fella, just a lot of business move. He burned a lot of bridges, pissed a lot of people off. Even like when he went on the Breakfast Club, yeah, y'all chatty patties, da-da-da. You're on their show calling them chatty patties, right? Well, why are you here? Like, what did you come here for? If you came here just to get mad and irritated, you knew we do gossip before you came here, but you wanted to use the platform. So I'm like, bro, at the end of the day, if you're going through the industry, chopping all these bridges, because there's a lot of people, let's just be honest, it's not going to work with Dame. I'm just keeping it a buck. It's not disrespect. I'm just telling you what it is. It's a lot of people that would never do business with Dame, openly say, I will never do business with him. So at this point, where we are now is Dame trying to move this little slice of history around, and it's not really going to work. Jay-Z has put the kibosh on it, and say what you will about Jay. Jay's a businessman first, and he's going to do whatever he got to do to stop you from doing a business move that's going to interfere with what he got planned for his life and his music and his basically his product. So I don't know what Dame is going to do. This is really, I know how it is if you're trying to get back on your feet and things of that nature, but first of all, it's too many other ways to get back on your feet than selling that. You know what I mean? There's a lot of other stuff Dame got going on rather than this one piece of property that he's holding on to. I think Dame you could try to sell it, but it just don't make no sense. I don't think it's going to work. And I think Dame, this is my real honest opinion, I think Dame should try to humble himself and patch up a couple of them relationships that he's kind of messed up. Just to be honest, I know there's a lot of Dame Dash stans that think everything Dame say and do is like, oh my God, it's God talking to you. It's low key, not always what it seems on the outside. I feel like Dame need to humble himself, come back around to the table, try to get some business going with some people, and don't mess it up this time. Like, it's a lot of stories of movie deals and records and different things getting kibosh because of Dame's attitude. I'm just gonna be honest with you, right? And then once you hear him talk about it, you could tell like, okay, I see something was there that kind of went left because of this Harlem or whatever New York attitude, and this is where we got the situation that fell apart. Dame need to humble himself, right? And I'm gonna be honest, I always tell the story back in the day. I hit Dame Dash up on what was it? I think it was MySpace, because I used to do a lot of shows and a lot of promotion in my area, and I hit him up and I was like, bro, because I saw that he was doing some type of event, and the event wasn't going well online. I'm talking, bro, this was about 18 years ago. This was a long time ago, bro. And so I inboxed him like, yo, I do a lot of shows with a lot of, it was a show for underground independent artists. I said I do a lot of shows with a lot of independent artists in this area. I got access to at least 300 to 500 artists at any time. I can help you with this show. He was like, yo, what can you help me with? He responded. So I was like, oh, dang, he responded. So I put something in, I wrote something in the thing, a little pitch, da-da-da, and then he blocked me. So I was like, oh, wow, okay. I guess that ain't gonna happen, but it's all good. I mean, it's stuff like that to me. If I'm telling you what I can do and you just block me because whatever I'm saying, you're not hearing it, it just, to me, that's the kind of stuff I see that makes you not excel in a business. And I'm just gonna keep it like that. CLBMG, go over to the website, check it out. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think in the comments about this Dame Dash situation. Is Dame Dash playing chess? Is Jay playing chess? Are they winning, losing? What's going on? Do you think Reasonable Doubt is worth anything at this point? Let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure you keep hitting me up with them cash apps. I appreciate you, the support. Make sure you share, like, subscribe. Peace. Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine. Elevate your mind with high quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
CLB.